Hello, travel biz owner. Welcome to my corner of the travel industry, the Strategic Travel Entrepreneur Podcast. If you're ready to have fun, be inspired, get clarity, and take action in your travel business, then you're in the right place. Let's jump in. Hello, travel entrepreneur. Rita here. We are on part 3 of 4 in this lead generation series, and I cannot wait to dive in deep. Ooh, I almost grabbed the wrong post-it note. We are talking about food and wine travel. How many of you out there specialize in this type of travel or would love to specialize in this type of travel? I ask that also knowing that I can't see you raising your hands or hearing you right now. So do me the benefit and just send me a message on social media and let me know if you specialize in this type of travel. Now, this is something that it's funny. I was going to change and do so many things. And then when I really committed to it was around the time the pandemonium started. And so there are a lot of ideas that I can see in this realm. I think partly also because I worked in restaurants for so many years. So it is a little bit easier for me. And I worked in the hospitality industry. It's a little bit easier to be creative in this way and think of inventive ideas, because that is where my livelihood was for so long. Where a lot of my passion stemmed from was food, and not even just food and wine. It can be any sort of beverage, spirits, coffee, beer, and all that, which also makes me think of something that I did not write here. So let me write that in here in my little notes. See? Ideas abound everywhere. That is my Taurus spirit. That is my creativity spirit coming out. And I did not think I was a creative person until I really learned a little bit more. But yeah, totally sidetrack there. So when I think of people who love food and wine, like myself, I think of new experiences. I think of that's a big passion of mine, especially when I'm traveling. I want to taste the culture. I want to taste what's local, what's locally available, what are their dishes like what makes, I feel especially growing up in a Puerto Rican household, food was such a big thing for us, and the variety of food and how we make different things. I'm thinking growing up, I was raised obviously on rice and beans. There's a lot of pork in Caribbean cooking. Pasteles, pastelillos, empanadillas, surullos, so many mouth-watering, salivating things. And I think because I have that background, that's where my family is from. Those are things that I so look forward to whenever I do visit back in Puerto Rico, or even with family that doesn't live nearby me. When they make these treats, every part of the world has special treats just like that. And I think maybe that's why it is, because of my family upbringing. But I love to, if I'm in France, we got to taste a French croissant. And thankfully there are really great gluten-free, because I'm gluten-free. There's really great gluten-free pastries in Paris. I will give you the recommendation of a place called No Glue. Noglu, no glue, no gluten. Oh yeah. But that was, and it had so many good, I think they had a gluten-free carrot cake. Oh my gosh. It was just, I cannot wait to go back because it was tasty, delicious. But when I think of I'm going to Germany, especially around Christmas time, I want to be able to find gingerbread. I want to be able to try a little bit of sauerkraut, sausages. Budapest, oh my gosh, the Hungarian stew that I always forget, and I always want to call it borscht, but it's not borscht, it's something else, and I can never remember until later on. Which now I'm oh, what is it called? But I feel food and wine really does make a culture, and it's how a lot of us really experience somebody else's culture. I know for some people you may say food and drink is just essential to being, which yes, but it's also like this amazing experience. So for people who I feel are very interested in food and wine just in general, they have a certain, oh gosh, is it disposable income or discretionary income that they can spend on like really great culinary experiences? Because I think of like James Beard, and then there's Michelin chef restaurants and things like that. That is something that people who are interested in food and beverage, you like spending a little extra money is so important to you to have like a really great, and you don't have to do it all the time, every day, all day, all that. But this is something that is important for us to invest money in. Like you will find us bringing back souvenirs that have to deal with food probably and not other things, and not saying like another sector can't appreciate, like another niche can't appreciate this. This is just getting into the mind of people who do appreciate and they live this day in and day out. Like food and beverage is more than just a necessity. It is like a way of life, and we do things great. And maybe at home they're more like non-adventurous, but when they're away they're like, I'm gonna be like, I see the raining of the dollar bills, because that is something that is so important. And so thinking about those food and beverage experiences that are local to you that like really stand out and sing. Now, I would love to say like the first thing that I had, of course, is food and wine festivals. When I think of my own Central Florida, the biggest like food and wine festivals are really tailored to theme parks. And you can't really like promote your own business there. That's kind of like big dollars that you have to have in order to do something like that. But you can go and invite people to go with you and meet other people who love food and wine just like you do at these types of events. And like we've been talking about the past couple of episodes, we're looking at lead generations for each of these types of clients in the sense of, I want to make more clients. I want to have more clients, make more money, but I also need to make referral partners, and people need to know me regardless of if we're going to exchange money or do business together. They still need to be able to refer me out and know that my business exists. So I know in my local area, there's tons of food and wine festivals that aren't associated with theme parks that you can have booths at, or you can do like sponsorships of. I think for you as a travel business owner, attending those and just like indulging and meeting people and like connecting with different business owners, because I think like, especially if you're partnering with a restaurateur, a wine bar, brewery, or anything like that from these types of festivals, that is kind of like collecting potential, not only referral partners, but also potential joint venture partnerships. Because how amazing would it be for these business owners to also partner with you to take their clientele to a different location of the world? And maybe it's an Italian restaurant taking their clientele to Italy, or maybe it's just a winery that specializes in wine of the world and taking them on a river cruise that specializes in wine and things like that. Being able to kind of like set the bar, set the stage, like be set apart from the other restaurants and shops and things like that in their own area, and be like, I mean, yeah, so-and-so has a really great service, but we have a group trip plan. Did you know that? Like, that's major bragging rights. And I'm sure that there would be a lot of restaurateurs and business owners in that area that would love to do a joint venture partnership with you. Then I start to think of like, where are these food and wine connoisseurs hanging out at? And that's, wine shops, wine bars. They're at breweries, wine rooms. They're at the wineries. Like, that's one of my favorite things to do. Like, I'm not a big drinker at all. I might have like 5 to 10 drinks per year. So that kind of shows you like how big of a drinker I am. But I love doing like wine tastings and things like that. I just love the experience of that. And so attending these things, but also like being on the lookout, being a patron. And that's also why I think you have to remember relationships are the quickest way to making quick money. But it is also a long game. It's not going to be like you just go into somebody's place, do a tasting, and be like, hey, let's partner up. It may take a couple of tries. And I'm not even sure that I would pitch something to somebody on the first time that I was a patron at their place. I would like give it some time, get to know them, they get to know you and all that. And then when they are warmed up, when you do the pitch, it should be an easier of a sell than that very first time that you come in, because you have some sort of rapport with that person. I also think of spirits, and there's so many like mixology type classes. This also makes me think about date night. See, we're kind of like combining niches here too. Spirits classes to make you learn a little bit more about different spirits. Maybe I could see like some of these shops or restaurants bringing in like beverage reps who want to maybe like do some sort of seminar or presentation, like this tequila from here, this vodka from here, and just learning these types of things. Those are things that I would like to do. Again, not as a big drinker, but those types of things are what fascinate me. And so participating in those or partnering to host something like that. Local chef, a local professional that specializes in some sort of food production, I think would be a really great referral partner, and possibly even a joint venture where you might work with a chef that maybe has like a really big audience or a really big following, or maybe does cooking classes on a weekly, monthly basis locally. And he would like to start generating like another revenue stream and put some of these cooking class trips type together. And you could be the travel advisor to do that. So I think looking at that too, and thinking about like professional chefs, like where can you meet professional chefs outside of like looking for them? There are also like these culinary festivals. It's not like strictly food festivals for restaurants and shops and things. It can also be like for culinary school. Ooh, that's another really great idea. Culinary schools and working there. And maybe there's culinary schools who would like to plan trips for their students to get boots on the ground experience of cooking or learning cooking or baking techniques from a different part of the world that they're studying at that time. So like maybe a study abroad type program too. Farmers markets, because we need the best ingredients. And I feel like you could go to a farmer's market, shop at a farmer's market, build relationships with the vendors at the farmer's market. I would even wonder if you would be able to like get a vendor spot and promote like some sort of foodie or culinary trip. And maybe like that's some sort of marketing dollars that you can get from another supplier as well. Here in Central Florida, there's like strawberry and blueberry picking season. I know when I went to North Carolina, there was apple picking season. So I think like that would be like a great partnership as well. If there's like a fruit picking area or a fruit picking like farm or anything like that, could you partner with them? I know some of the farms too, and especially some of the wineries will also have festivals at their properties just to get more people out there, make more sales that way. And sometimes they will allow for vendor booths or at least sponsorships of things. So that might be a really neat way to generate some leads and some visibility. I think about tasting tours too, and this can be maybe you're already overseas and you want to take a tasting tour wherever you're at. I'm sure there's also tasting tours wherever you're local to you. I feel like this could also be like a cool date night thing, like instead of or bar hopping, like even that. Like I'm thinking pub hopping. Obviously, I think about Ireland, but you could also do that here locally, wherever you're at. And I'm sure there can also be like tasting tours. Maybe restaurants and pubs or breweries partner with each other. And then like one of my favorite things that I thought about, I am a huge chocoholic and an ice creamaholic. And so there's a lot of like chocolate shops and ice cream shops. Again, maybe you can like leave business cards or anything at. Maybe you can host people, like do a partnership and host people to learn and create their own chocolate as you're trying to promote a Belgian river cruise or anything like that. So that would be like a really cool like joint venture there too. And then like, thinking about like date night also, but people who love food and wine also love to learn more about how they can make really great food dishes at home. So are there local cooking classes that you can attend? Or maybe there's local cooking demos that you could attend as well. So those are a lot of the ideas that I think about when I immediately think about like food and winey people. Where are food and winey people hanging out at? And that's really where really good food, wine, beverage, drink, whatever. Oh, the other thing that I thought about too, because I don't want to make it specifically about something like alcohol, but I'm thinking also like coffee and tea shops. Like I would nerd out. There used to be like this chain and then Starbucks bought it and they messed it up. It was called Teavana. But that was one of my favorite stores to go to when I was younger. And so I'm sure that there's a lot of other places, and it doesn't have to be a chain. It's probably easier if you go into a place that's not a chain to be able to like create some sort of partnership, but like a tea room, maybe there's like an afternoon tea thing that you can do. So yeah, those are some of my ideas if you're looking to generate some leads and like where you can find them and where you can find really great sources for referral partnerships. Now we're going to the Midwest today. So we are going to look at events over at Indianapolis, Indiana. And so a couple of networking events that kind of like immediately popped up are the Indianapolis SEC Alumni Professional Networking Event. There's also a Network of Women in Business. I'm going to open that one because it's a little bit bigger. The Business Owner Only Networking Event. Ooh. I mean, I thought lots of networking events were kind of like catered to business owners. Ooh, I like this. Service Provider Training and Networking Event. I'll open that one up. Business Spotlight Monthly Morning Networking Event. Business Networking in Noblesville. Coffee and Conversation, which is perfect. And that's in Fishers, which is really close to Indianapolis. Oh, there's an ASCLS Indiana networking event that's at a winery. Let me open that up so we can find out more. There's another monthly networking meeting, a Game On Elevate Your Coaching event. Let's open that up to see what that's about. Business networking in Carmel, networking dinner and work session. Let's open that. And then a women to women networking event. So let's take a look at some of these events. And really, I opened these up because I just want to see like what different types of networking events offer. Some of them are free, some of them are paid. So I just opened the Network of Women in Business. It's lunch and networking. It's free. But I'm sure you have to obviously like pay for your food and all that. It says, please sign up for our newsletter to stay up to date. This event is focused on expanding your network and growing professionally. There will be plenty of time for introductions. Bring plenty of business cards and consider sharing them with the group. You talk about yourself, about your business, and about how we can help, which is all about referrals, which that's what I'm saying. Like, this is not just about you. Like, yes, we're talking about generating leads for your business, but this is also how you can be a really great steward for other people's businesses, because like I like to say, and like the popular saying goes, the more you give, the more you get. There is no cost to attend this other than your lunch, so I was right. Guests are welcome and encouraged to attend 2 NoWib networking events before becoming a member. Okay, so this is some sort of membership, and it seems like you have to be able to go to 2 before you can be invited to become a member. So that is a networking event that I would attend that. Then there's a business owner. I'm just like surprised that it says business owner only. Oh, I love what it says here. It is $20 to get in, but it says self-made is a myth. We make a difference together that far surpasses anything we could have done on our own. Like, yes. And there's so many, and I have people that are close to me that I know that are like this, that for whatever reason don't believe that you need to like build relationships, or like that's not their primary focus, is to build relationships. And that is like, that's the secret. If you want to know what the secret is to being successful in business, it is business relationships. And that is what this lead generation series really is all about, is how can you meet people? How can you get in front of people? It is not just about you. It is building, like I talked about, I maybe think in episode 1 or 2, about we're building friendships. Like, this is really just making friends, but on a business level. These can be friends who are business colleagues. These can be referral partners. It is just the more people that know your business, the better it is for you and your business. Like, you cannot do this on your own. You have to get out there. And while, yes, I'm talking a lot about like events that you have to physically go to, there are virtual events. You just have to do a little bit more digging to attend those virtual events. I will say it kind of also seems like now that we're out of like full on pandemic mode, there's a little bit less of virtual events, because I think a lot of people were missing that in-person relationship building. And so you're going to see a lot more in-person offerings now than virtual networking events. But there are still really great virtual networking events across the nation, which is even better. Like, you get beyond what your local community can offer, which I love. So to continue on about this specific event, no one ever gets to where they end up alone. Instead, whether or not we like it, we are a culmination of all the people who have come before us. It can be very lonely at the top of as a business owner. This networking event is an opportunity to build relationships with other like-minded, success-oriented business owners. Love, love that. All right. So let's see what else. Oh, here's the service. I'm interested to see about this, the service provider. Let me open up some of the other events that I kind of opened up here that are just general networking in Indianapolis. All right, service provider training and networking event. Guest speakers, U.S. Attorney for Southern Indiana, Zachary Myers, and Assistant U.S. Attorney and Human Trafficking Division Coordinator, Tiffany Preston. They are both talking about human trafficking. About the event, learn about the legal aspects of human trafficking, connect with fellow professionals, engage in informative discussions, and contribute valuable insights. I think this is a great event. Not obviously food and wine specific, but I love where this is an event that's networking, but you also get some education out of it. And that's what this is what it's all about, building your contacts, because you may not know what your role is in human trafficking and what you can do to like prevent human trafficking. But like I feel like these are just like really great enlightenment type of events, and you can meet really great people. And it's just championing, I feel like, what is a worthy cause that does need a lot more help so that we can combat something like this. All right. So this other networking event that I found, ASCLS, is the American Society for Clinical Laboratory Science. Probably not one of the best events. So this one I feel is kind of a dud, unless like you've been in this industry or anything like that. Excuse me. All right, game on. Elevate your coaching with 360 networking, an in-person event. Is about celebrating and loving on coaches. So it looks like this one's specifically if you are a coach. Interactive sessions, master the essentials, find your niche, empower adult learners, coaching in action. So this may be good even if you're not necessarily a coach. You're a travel advisor, and there's like some coaching / advising that happens. So this may be like a good learning experience. But this also may be a really great place to find really great potential clients who are coaches and do that work. And they can be really great referral partners, I think, too. Then there's this networking dinner and working session. Let's publish together. Ooh, publish. Have you thought about authoring a book but haven't had the time, energy, or courage? This is an opportunity to be a part of a collaborative book opportunity led by VIP members. And Peyton and Angie Murrell. What are we calling this? The Ideation and Buzz Session for the Vision in Progress publication. So this is really cool. It is for business women, but business women who are interested in publishing a book. It says VIP members are free, non-members are $30, which I think is still reasonable. So it's learning, but also collaborating and being together with other people. This does have logos, so there is an opportunity to like have your logo here. It says for VIP partners. So, it is a different type of a networking event, but this is something that I would like to attend, which is now like doing all of this research for y'all is really motivating me to do some of my own research in my own local area. So we've gotten some of the general events in Indianapolis. I'm just going to Google food events and we'll kind of like see from there what kind of events kind of pop up, because I might look a little bit more. So there's Forked Up Food Truck, Food and New Friends, Quarterly Food Drive. Love that. Love that. There's a lot of St. Patty's Day. There's Drag Me to Brunch, Drag Queen Brunch. There's a Nestle in cooking class, Thai food. Okay, let's open that up. Everything on a Stick Market, street foods from the Philippine Cultural Center. Let's open that up because I think that's a great opportunity. Soul Food Project, a More Than Corn Store. Oh, I'm intrigued by that. Let's open that up. Afro Foodie Culinary Book Club. Oh my goodness. Let's open that up. Food safety training, which I would assume that's for professionals, but we'll open that up. Ooh, Teen Chef. Okay, see here where some of the worlds are colliding, our family niche, and then Green Cuisine Delight. Ooh, there's lots of really great options here in Indianapolis. So let's go to this Nestle in cooking class. Cooking classes at Nestle Inn are always informal and fun. Each class will provide you the skill to prepare what you learn at home. Our chef instructors are some of Indy's most talented chefs from culinary programs and local restaurants. I just want to be like, see. So this is not only like you're meeting professional chefs, you're also meeting people who love food. So this is like an all around like win-win. This is not direct networking, but again, like maybe sneak it into the conversation, congratulate the chef, follow them on social media, see what they're doing, see what they're out and about. Like there's just so many ways like where a relationship can start from and how it blossoms. So there's at least like 3 different relationships and partnerships that I already see at an event like this. Classes are held on Saturdays from 3:30 to 5. Classes are $90 per person and include all chef instruction, food, and beverages. Purchase 4 classes, save $20. Yeah, and they have a lot more. Look, they even have couples cooking classes. See? They have sweet and savory crepes, Thai food, cinnamon rolls, homemade pasta. That's an amazing opportunity. Let's see this everything on a stick street food thing. I'm going to start opening all my other tabs. Yes, this is a podcast. You can't see this, but I want to like kind of at least verbally walk you through all this. That food safety training is for food managers. So where it would be, really great networking. It really is more like a health department type of thing. So it's not something that I would recommend for you to attend as a potential like networking type of opportunity. Everything on a stick. Let's see. This is a taste the flavors of Filipino street foods. Pork chicken kebabs, turon, fresh coconut, fish ball, empanada, banana Q, quail egg, sorbets and ice cream, and more. I love this because not only can you mingle with a really great organization, this Philippine Cultural Community Center, you can build contacts there, you can build contacts with the vendors, and hopefully you even meet like really great people at this event who can be potential clients. So it says if you like events like this, you'll also want to follow this Philippine Cultural Community Center. They have lots of foodie things here. So they have Cape at Canvas. It's coffee and canvas, so it looks like coffee and painting. There's a mango float baking demonstration, and there's an Asian and queer social discussion. So lots of really great opportunities to have fun. And that's the very first episode, guest episode of the Strategic Travel Entrepreneur, is all about networking. And Lisa Platt, who was my guest speaker, so this is episode 2 in the whole podcast entirety. She talks about networking as an introvert and really looking at networking as net funning. And that's why I say, like, maybe straight networking is not something that you want to do. So attending some of these like different fun events that like really hone in on who your ideal client is, if that sounds more fun to you and you can meet people and you're more apt to meet people with kind of like this common ground, do that. Like, do what is going to make you feel good. And not only that, but do like what you want to do. Do what you are going to do. So this is, I believe that this is a film project, Soul Food Project, a more than corn story. I'm getting tongue twisted here. So we're going to skip that. I think it's kind of like a community viewing, which, I mean, it is about food. So I think it would be great. But I mean, if you're watching a movie too, it's kind of going to be a little bit silent. I love this unique event. This other one is called Afro Foodie Culinary Book Club. All right, there's not too much information on it. It looks like it says it's a past event because maybe it was last year. It says, join us as we search for our culinary roots, sample from local chefs, and explore the many peoples from the African diaspora. Oh my gosh, I am going to butcher that name too. Diaspora. Maybe it's diaspora. Contributed to food culture from cooking and farming techniques, flavors, and plant knowledge. I think like it looks like it would be in the future, but I think like that's a really great, especially if you're wanting to target food and wine clients, that is a really great thing to participate in. Then there is Teen Chef, which is something that is hosted through one of the libraries. It says upgrade your skills in the kitchen or build on cooking knowledge, that you already have. Join nutrition services in a hands-on cooking workshop that merges healthy eating with culinary skills. By using nutrient-dense ingredients, speaking my love language here, we will make picture-worthy snacks that will have our bodies saying thank you. Sign up for this fun beginner-level class. Loving that. And then the last one is called Green Cuisine Delight, Decadent Delights of Plant-Based Comfort Food. This one looks like it's also a past event. It says, it's actually happening the day that I'm recording this. Come join us for a delicious evening of Cohatch, downtown Indy. Indulge in a mouth-watering plant-based comfort classics that will leave you feeling satisfied and energy. It's the perfect way to continue to kick off your new year with fresh start for your taste buds. Don't miss. So it's free to members and it's $20 for non-members. And I think you join. You become a member. It's called runwithwine.com. Oh my goodness. They also have like a masquerade black tie gala. So that might, you never know where these events are coming from. Run with Wine Incorporated. It says, while our focus is on empowering women, we believe that true empowerment knows no gender boundaries. So inclusivity, like this is speaking my love language here too. Love this. I don't want to like keep going down the rabbit hole, but I will. Let me just take a peek at some wine events. So at least you have an idea of some sort of those. Because we were just focusing on food there. But there's something called Uncork Me Indiana. Then there's live music with Brandywine. Brandywine might be not a wine. That might be like a band. Because it says Indiana Flute Circle. Then it also says free tasting event, wine, cheese, and charcuterie at the Goose the Market. So, as you can see, like I feel there's just like a plethora of different types of events, especially if you're targeting food and wine clientele for your travel business. There is like a wealth. You just have to go out and do some digging to find like those right fit places where those right fit clients and referral partners are going to be at. So let me know what kind of was your favorite idea or real world event that you heard about here. And let's chat more about this food and wine travel. All right, we have one more episode left in this series. So next week, we're going to be talking about lead generation for luxury travelers. So we've already gone over family travel, romance travel, food and wine travel. Again, if you have not already booked a power hour session with me and you're like, you haven't talked about where I live and you haven't talked about where my niche is, or you have talked about it, but I don't even know where to start, let's jump on a power hour session together so that we can come up with your own personalized lead generation plan for the next quarter, the rest of the year, or the next year moving forward. All right, you have a great one. I will see you soon. Thanks for joining me on the podcast today. Remember to check out the show notes for all relevant links and resources from today's show. See you next time.